When I was a kid, I consumed a lot of books. I read a lot, my parents read to me a lot, and I was almost always listening to an audiobook. I even wanted to be a writer when I grew up. And as I moved into middle school, I discovered what would become some of my favorite books. Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, The Hunger Games. I read these books over and over and over again. I mean, I must have read each Harry Potter book like 10 times. And I don't regret that, because not only did they shape the way I look at stories, but they had a big impact on the way I see the world. I don't know how often I channeled my preteen angst through reading Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince. But as I kept rereading, I slowly stopped reading anything else. And eventually, only a few new books slipped in. And it did get to the point where I was tired of rereading all those stories. But at the same time, I struggled finding new stuff to read because I had cut myself off from anything else. I probably would have resolved it, but then college happened. And for the first time in my life, I had things that I was required to read. Textbooks, academic papers, books on very niche fields of study, and a good deal of ancient texts. Now, I'd be lying if I said that I read everything that I was supposed to. I doubt I as much as opened my speech and debate textbook. And I'd also be lying if I said that I didn't enjoy some of the stuff I read. I mean, those ancient texts, Homer, Euripides, Ovid, I dug a lot of those. But when you have so much stuff that you have to read, there isn't much time to read recreationally. I read maybe one book a year outside of school, but last year I really started feeling the itch to read recreationally again, mainly because I made myself read so much for Mythology Month. So I decided that this year would be the year that I started reading for fun again. So, what have I read? Well, those plus 2 audiobooks. I actually don't think that this is that bad. I mean, it's 4 times what I was averaging, and I did have my last semester of school to finish up. Now that I've graduated, I'm reading almost daily, which is exactly what I wanted. But more importantly, I'm wanting to read, and I'm wanting to read new stuff. Different times in our lives present us with different priorities and interests. And now I think I'm entering a time when reading can take up much more prominence like it had been earlier, which is cool. So I'm going to end the video and get back to reading. Well, actually, I'm gonna import the footage and then finish editing, but after that I might read.